Hi everybody, it's me, Tami DeVine. Today it's all about the candidates. And now with me is Edwin Duterte. He is running for the 43rd Congressional District for U.S. Congress. That's Maxine Waters' seat, isn't it?
It sure is.
Why did you feel it was important to jump in on that?
Well, I feel it's important to jump in because our community is very poor. You know, in the city of Englewood, we have 22% poverty. District-wide, it's about 18% poverty. And I think that's unacceptable considering that in our district we have SpaceX, which just raised $1 billion. We have Google, which is in our district. We have Silicon Beach, which is just adjacent to the district, and we have all these wonderful companies, in the Hollywood area, in the Port of LA. But I find that it's just disgusting that in the community we're just so poor. So I want to bring back our community. I see that Maxine has done little to zero to help out the community, and I think with the programs that I want to put in, the legislation I want to do, we'll build an economic environment that can create better wealth and better family values in the system, in the district.
I suppose there are people in the district that might say Maxine has done stuff for the community and has, I don't know, brought money back or something. And there's a big stadium? Isn't there a big stadium going on in your district?
I really appreciate the things that she's done in the community. However, when you look at the stadium, well, what kind of jobs does that bring? That brings in entertainment jobs. However, those jobs bring in service jobs. Not to say that service jobs are bad, but we are in California and we need to make more money to survive. To have a better living wage, we need better resources. So I think that if we concentrate on STEM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, we can have the economic opportunity and have access, to better jobs.
Sounds like more like STEAM and not STEM, right?
Well,
not necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you need the A, you need the arts, because that provides the creativity for the science, technology,
sure.
Engineering, mathematics. So she has done a lot. However, those are all superficial. She's created division and in the community, whereas I want to bring the community together. I want to bring the gang members, and I want to bring in Hispanic, Latinos into STEM. STEM. You
want to bring the gang members into the STEAM and STEM programs?
Yeah, I know. Here's the reason why. A lot of the guys in the gang involvement area, they're in it because they lack access to money, but if we educate them, we give them the opportunity to work at places like SpaceX. It would be great if we can get some of the Crips and Bloods and unite them to get better education. And if they could become like astronauts and scientists, that'd be a great thing.
Is it doable, Edwin?
It's doable with if we get to the OGs, to the I talked to a guy like James Sims. He went into jail for murder for almost 30 years. Or maybe even 40 years, and he is doing everything to help out his kids and his community not go the same path. So if we work with former ex-Crip members, and we say, this is not the path. Let's, you have an opportunity to work at a company that has rockets, that throws rockets up in space. So let's get out of the gang mentality and into education and really do something in the community. So it is doable.
Okay, all right. Your challenger, one of your Republican challengers, Omar Navarro, talks about Maxine Waters, apparently not even really living in the district. Is that something you found, in a big mansion?
Well, not only her not living in the district is a concern, but living in a district that is so unlike the district that she represents. She forgot where she came from, and living in a $5 million home is so different than living in a one bedroom with 5 other people. So she forgot where she came from, and I live in the community. I live in an area where I drive by tents. I drive by people living on the streets, and I'm seeing more people, not only Black and Hispanics, begging on the streets, but I'm seeing all races going out there and begging, and we need to fix that.
Something's going on with the district, though. There's a lot of building going on there, and a lot of people look at it as gentrification. Hard to say, gentrification, and so a lot of the Black people that were there can't afford it anymore, so they're moving out.
Right.
But there are a lot of Hispanics moving in. It's like the blacks are moving out, Hispanics are moving in. Do you see that happening, and how do you deal with that?
Well, it goes back to some of the things that we talked about with STEAM. I talked to a community organization called Community Reflections, and we talked about this where the black community is moving out because they can't afford the jobs. And one of the things I said is, let's figure out why they're moving out of their jobs. They're moving out of their jobs because they don't have access.
Out of their homes there?
They're moving out of their homes because they don't have access to living what they call living wage jobs. But what's a living wage jobs? They're excited that that they're going to have more waiter jobs because of the stadium. But eventually those jobs are not going to be able to pay for the housing
to sustain.
So we need to find a sustainable way for people to live, and education is probably the only way to do it. And especially in that district, we need to focus on creating the environment for people to thrive. And with the right education, with the right backing from the investment community, with the right backing with municipalities, we can definitely make things happen.
All right, I got to ask, what's going on between you and Omar Navarro? Because he's the main Republican challenger.
He's not the main Republican challenger. He is outraising a lot of people.
No, I mean for the primary, for the Republican side, he's your main Republican challenger, right?
Well, let's get this straight. Locally, the LA GOP and the California GOP, they despise him. Number one, he's only.
Why is that?
Well, if you look at his history, he has said a lot of bad things with the GOP members locally.
Like what?
He calls them names. He does. Anybody who doesn't agree with Omar, he calls Rhino. So he goes outside the district and starts raising money, and he does a great job of it. However, he is rarely in the community. Whereas you go, follow me. I'm in the community all the time. I'm talking to voters, and I'm not finding ways to divide the Republicans versus Democrats. We're in a district that has 80% Democrats and about 20% Republicans. So in order for us to win not only the primary but to set us up into the general, we have to get crossover vote, and we have to find issues that.
So you're trying to find common ground between Republicans and Democrats to get the vote for you. So what you're saying, it sounds to me like what you're saying is that Omar Navarro doesn't necessarily want to cross over. He's more to the right, basically, right?
Well, I don't believe he's in it to win it. I think he's in it for fame and so forth. But
I've interviewed him here, and he has taught. I don't think we talked about you necessarily. It was last year that he was on the set talking about different things. One of his main things was Trump support. He was saying that I think necessarily, and in the future, not just when we interviewed, but since then, I think he said you're not necessarily a Trump supporter, and he's more of a Trump supporter, and he's more to the right of you. And one other thing was that he said that because the GOP, the state GOP, did not maybe necessarily support Trump, then they didn't support him.
Well, so here's the thing.
So I guess I have to ask, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a Trump supporter. I voted for Trump. I support every economic thing that he's done. I think that he needs somebody in Congress to help out on the legislative side because he has a tax reform. But now we have to create the environment for economic reform and economic betterment. I think I have that. And when you talk to my opponents, they have little. They talk about I'm a Trump supporter, but they don't actually have the avenues or the path to help him. Just by saying that you're a Trump supporter, which is a great thing. You also have the know-how and the.
So what makes you the one that Republicans in California should vote for this district, or for your district, I should say? Yeah. What makes you the one they should vote for versus Omar Navarro? And then there's another guy. He doesn't really have much. I haven't seen anything about him out there.
Yeah. Well, the other guy, his name is Frank, and Frank, for all intents and purposes, I think is a nice guy. He's an attorney. He's from Hollywood. He also doesn't live in the district. I think he would be a great person, but he doesn't have the community reach like I have. I think by me going out in the community and talking to the community and showing the community that even though they are registered Democrats, that they live conservative lives. In fact, I talked to a group of again going back to the gang members because they are part of the community. They're a big part of the community. I've talked to them, and a lot of the Crips are calling them Cripservatives because they have Crip history. However, because of their future and because they want their kids to thrive, they want their kids to have better education, they want better housing and so forth, and how they save their money, that they have more conservative viewpoints. So the Crips are, many of them are calling themselves Cripservatives, and I think that's a great thing.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking with me. What's your website?
Oh, my website is Duterte for Congress. That's Duterte for the FOR, Congress.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Duterte CA, and I'm all over Facebook and Periscope and so forth.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I appreciate it. Good job. All right, that's it for now here with Edwin Duterte running for U.S. Congress, Maxine Waters District, the 43rd Congressional District here in California. So you heard his website. You can go and check him out. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you later.